Hello everyone, how you all doing? All good, I hope. That's all sorted. Goldman, hi, I haven't seen you in a while. How you been? All good? And Huzzy, is that it? How you doing? So we're gonna do reaction stuff today. I don't know what to react to though. That's good. It's nice to know you're doing well. I just need to figure out what. Nothing important. Sorry, I got an email just then. What am I looking at? Where are you? There's someone I'm looking for. Where is he? Oh, lovely. What do they want? Your money or your kidney? Where? Barker. There we go. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, fair. That is very fair. God, he hasn't done much videos yet, has he? So what I think we're gonna do is watch some Mugen stuff. Mugen, sorry. Because I haven't watched a bunch of his stuff lately. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch a deep dive into the violent unraveling of pirate software, because I have been slightly following it. I haven't been following it a lot, but I have been following it, and my god, that dude is failing at every aspect. The chip, he just like backed off like a centimeter. Because I'm a bitch. Basically. I'm gonna put my arm off. Have both the little pups today. I mean, I'm technically a wolf. Female dog, so. So this is a whopping 1 hour and 9-minute video. So this is gonna take us the whole stream. So that's always good. Over here. There we go. Kiplin, hi, how you doing? It is me again. I'm always me. Oh my god, you will not guess what fucking happened. Hi Ems, how you doing? So you know how we watched what's it called? Roll for Sandwiches the other day? So I have a sound thing that I use for songs. Now there's a specific reason why it's used for songs, because while I'm streaming you guys can hear that sound. You guys will be able to listen to the music with me, request music from me, all that stuff. But I record all of my streams. Every single last one is recorded, then upload to the VOD channel. It's because Twitch tends to silence the audio part that may be copyrighted, which is fine. I don't give a shit. To be fully honest, I don't care. Apart from when it affects gameplay. So like, if you look at my Last of Us, not Last of Us, our the Life is Strange one. That was before I started recording my shit while I stream. The ending of that, where I'm actually crying and stuff, is entirely muted because Twitch muted it. Because the song on the game is copyrighted. So like it ruined it a little bit. So yeah. Now I record everything. And it basically means that I don't have to worry about that type of stuff. I'm just waiting for the ad break to finish on the Twitch side. And then I will do it. Rawr, how you doing? But yeah, no, what was I saying though? Because I was about to say it. But yeah, no, so like, that's why I have it. So that my thing doesn't get muted. Hi Simon, how you doing? I do it so that doesn't happen. The issue is, the roll for sandwiches, I accidentally put the soundbite, because again, I'm doing good. I don't put my sound onto the desktop audio, I have it all separate, so that I can like control it and shit. I accidentally put it onto that song thing, which I did not have labeled correctly, which is my fault, I did it. Went to edit it yesterday. No sound. No sound from the videos. So I can't use any of the roll for some sandwiches from the Friday. I can't use any. Oh. Which is just a bitch. It's like a right bitch. Because it was funny and we had a lot to talk about. I don't know, nah, I can't upload it. I just can't. Which is funny as hell it's going to actually be now that I think about it. Because on the VOD channel, I did not check the VOD, because why would I? I have no reason to think to check it. So on the VOD channel, there's going to be that VOD where there's no sound from the video. And it's going to look so weird to anyone who didn't watch the stream. But anyway, we are going to be watching Mugen's Pirate Software video, because I feel like watching it. And I don't know what else to watch. So, let's go.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And that
Honestly.
phrase is perfect to describe when a massive content creator gets into controversy bad enough to end their career. But when it comes to Pirate Software, he wasn't just a big content creator.
Didn't
he
he
was
get, like,
someone who managed to blow up from 13,000 subscribers all the way to 1.1 million in less than 2 months.
How you
taking
doing, dude?
over
How
the
you?
YouTube Shorts algorithm at some point, and even making over $50,000 in one Twitch stream.
Damn.
However, he also managed to lose all of that just as fast. His actions didn't just make him unlikable,
Hello.
but it exposed him, both as a brand and as a person, making people
Like, didn't he grow massively in like such a short amount of time as well? Like, he grew so fast, so fast.
realize that they had subscribed to him over lies or exaggerations, and that he never showed his true self until now. You've no doubt somehow heard about this already. So
I have
many
seen him,
people
yeah.
are talking about him because it's that much of a crazy
I've also
story,
seen, like, his
and
shorts
so I
and
thought of
stuff.
making a video going back to the first ever incident and how it led us here
What's wrong
today.
with Cinder?
So without further ado, let's do
I mean, Cinder's not been
All right,
around
so
for
the
a very
first
long time.
question to even ask here is, where the hell did Pirate Software even come from? Well, he created his channel in 2016. And while his channel would grow over the years, it would do so in a very slow manner, reaching 13,000 subscribers after 7 years. But then, at the
This
end
is
of
a little wolf
October
puppy.
2023, he would take a decision that would change his life
All my ears,
forever.
Eborn.
And that would be uploading highlights of his Twitch streams as YouTube Shorts. These
Well, I've
were
got it in my hand
such
as well.
an incredible success that for a while they took over the YouTube Shorts algorithm. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if a huge portion of you watching this video right now came across these shorts on
And
your own time.
technically, these like wolf pups I have, they represent you, the viewers, because this is the image I use for my chats. No, she's just a wolf girl.
The views speak for themselves, with tens of millions of people being exposed to his channel for the first time and liking it. But how did he manage to do that when so many others couldn't? Well, many different shorts actually share the same factors. All you have to do is just watch one to understand the appeal. This short right here, titled Social Engineering, has every single one of these factors combined. So let's take a look at it and then I'll explain. Watch.
So when I worked at Blizzard, I had to do a social engineering task where I had to hit customer support, and I had to get 50 questions answered. And let me tell you, I got my questions answered. I shouldn't have. That was the problem. They're not supposed to answer those. And one of the things that I found that was really interesting is people that had been there for 1 year were really, really hard to trick. But people that had been there for 5 years were really easy to trick. What have we learned? We've learned that training is the issue. Everybody that actually worked at the company got training in their first year and then they never got training again. So they became complacent, exactly. The director of CS came and he said, I want the names. And I said, I'm not giving you the names. You're just going to fire those people. And he goes, I'm going to go to your boss. I was like, do it. My boss is like, you got the names? I was like, yeah. And he goes, you going to give them to him? I was like, no. And he goes, he's not going to give you the names, bud. And then I sat down and was like, look, I'm not giving you the names because if I did, you'd fire all of these people that are your best employees, the ones that have been here the longest. And in 4 years, you will have the exact same problem with the people that are newbies right now. The issue is not the employees, it's your training regimen. I sat down with him, we created a new 6-month training regimen. And guess what? I went back about a year later, did the same thing. All those people passed with flying colors. Not a single one of them answered my questions.
Well,
wait. Oh, does he mean like phishing questions? Is that what he's talking about right now? We have some of those eventually.
there you have it. The deep voice, with the confidence and eloquence in his speech, as well as the whiteboard he was drawing on at the bottom that was meant to soothe any attention span issues Gen Z might have, was the perfect combination.
I'm technically
this
Gen
story
Z.
made him out to be a genius, but not just any genius, a noble genius who saved 8 employees from losing their jobs by standing up to the evil boss. And where did that boss work? At some unknown company? No,
Morning.
he worked
Well,
at the
evening for
grand,
me.
prestigious video game company Blizzard Entertainment. Yes, that's right. This guy right here, talking in such an amazing, eloquent tone, worked at Blizzard Entertainment. And that's something he would make sure to mention.
Wait, he actually
any
works at it? I thought his
chance he
dad
got.
worked at Blizzard.
When I worked at Blizzard, I did that for Blizzard. Blizzard, 7 years, yeah. Blizzard. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment.
Anyway, we'll get
You
back
know
to
what? You know what? I think he worked for Blizzard. I mean, this may be a shock to everyone. I think he worked for Blizzard. I'm doing good.
that later in the video. But for now, all you have to understand is that these shorts were extremely effective.
Hello.
Pirate Software had gone from 13,000 subscribers to 1 million before the year even ended. That's 2 months going from
We're doing
13,000
YouTube
to-
content. So at the moment, I'm streaming on both TikTok and Twitch. This is a reaction for my reaction YouTube, where I basically I do this every Monday. We watch some some things, or another day if I have to. Well, not if I have to, if I want to. So like Friday, we were watching Roll for Sandwiches, that sort of thing. God, I wish my shorts got this much attention. Although, to be fair, my shorts have been doing really well
1.1
recently, being at like
million. And over
500
time, his shorts have racked up
Where
almost
normally they don't
2.3
do it
billion
that way.
views. A massive, astounding
I
achievement.
would
in
love
such
to
a
get
short amount
such
of
an
time.
amount on my
But YouTube wasn't
shorts.
the only platform that benefited. I mean, these shorts were highlights from his streams, so of course people went to those streams to see the real thing live. And so his Twitch channel went from 400 concurrent viewers to thousands. And within barely 3 months, he was at over 8,000 concurrent viewers. That's top 1% of the top
Ooh.
1%.
I don't
Now,
think I
look,
could
of
keep up
course
with
you might
chat
think,
if it was
well,
like
there
that.
are bigger streamers out there, of course. But even those streamers must have gotten envious sometimes because of how loyal and supportive Pirate Software's community was. On December 2023, he would beat Twitch's Hype Train record. When enough people donate bits or gift subs, the Hype Train is activated, starting
Yes.
at level 1. While that's happening, a timer starts counting down to 0.
How many
If more
levels
people
are there?
donate, the timer resets and they get to level 2. Pirate Software's community had gotten him to level 55, and they discovered
Damn.
together that level 55 was actually the cap. No one had ever reached a Hype Train level this high on the entire platform. He had gotten over 7,000 subs and 1.8 million bits. If you don't know what this means, he had essentially made $50,000 in one
Hot
stream. This
damn.
guy's community was so unstoppable.
50,000. I could pay off my computer with that, because I'm still paying off my computer. I could put that all into savings for myself. And this dude fucked it.
that it made everyone else be aware
He
of his
fucked
existence.
himself.
So much so that he actually was able to get nominated
just
to
opening
the
random
Streamer
words?
Awards in December of 2023. He was barely getting viral. But this is just how influential he was in such a short span of time. But what I want you to understand here is that the Streamer Awards actually have way bigger streamers than Pirate Software in other category nominations. For example, like XQC or Kai Cenat.
I
These
hate
streamers would,
XQC.
of course, send their own
I hate him
communities
with
to
passion.
go vote for them on the website. And they did so with no issues. But when Pirate Software sent his community to vote for him, they crashed the fucking website.
Lovely.
No other content creator had even come close to crashing the website. So it goes without saying that he won the Best Software and Game Development Streamer Award in 2023. He wasn't just absolutely
So
killing
just-
it, the guy was speedrunning being a content creator, getting to 1 million subs, getting hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitch, winning streamer awards, and beating records when it came to donations on
He looks so awkward. Like, he looks so
Twitch.
awkward going up
So
there.
of course, I say this with no exaggeration, the sky was the limit and the guy was barely getting started. If he could achieve that in just a couple of months, what could he achieve in years?
I know.
Would he become a legend? Achieve stardom? Either way, he was unstoppable until he wasn't. And he had no one to blame but himself. The first incident that would begin
I'm
his
taking it as a yes, you're just
cataclysmic
putting random
downfall
letters
was in the
and
most
stuff.
ironic way possible in a World of Warcraft dungeon. Yes, Blizzard Entertainment's biggest game of all time. And it would become his worst nightmare. Guys, I don't think World of Warcraft needs any introduction, okay? It came out in 2004 and revolutionized gaming forever.
I've never
Many
actually
games tried to
played World of
copy it, Many
Warcraft.
games tried to compete with it. They all died, and this game is still alive
Like, I have-
today in
I've
2025.
never played it.
Now, throughout the years, it has received many different expansions, 9 in total. And while they would add more content, quests, story, sometimes new races, sometimes new classes,
Hi, Lilith.
some
How
of
you
them
doing?
would also permanently alter the game's fundamental mechanics. In other words, the game that you're playing now in 2025 is vastly different from the game that you were
1 second, guys. I'm gonna BRB. everyone. Sorry about that. Fucking hell. Wait. Really sorry about that. Someone fucking hit my mum with a car while she was on her bike. I had to make sure she was okay. Hi. Hi, Phoenix. If you're still here, I don't know whether you are or not, though. Oh, now that I think about it, is that working? Is not. Okay. Let me quickly just get that sorted. Yeah, that's working. Okay. Let's get back on to watching this then. Again, so sorry for how long that BRB was just then.
Would have played on release day. One could even go as far as saying that they're completely different games at this point. Seeing that so many people's most meaningful gaming experience while they were growing up was World of Warcraft, a lot of them yearned for nostalgia. A lot of them wanted to relive those days when all they had to do was worry about mechanics from 10 or even 15 years ago. This would result in the rise of WoW private servers. Unofficial servers ran by fans in which they would use old versions of the game.
Hi,
At
how
some
you
point, Blizzard
doing?
would
My
start
day's
taking down
going
some of the most
alright. My
popular
mom's not so
private
much about
servers
it.
and would cause community outrage, with many asking Blizzard directly, well, why are you going to take them down, seeing that there's demand for them if you're not going to make one of your own? And so they took their sweet time, but eventually, in the year 2019, they would launch World of Warcraft.
So the reason I was on BRB for so long is my mum called me while I was streaming it. But it says that someone's hit her with a fucking car. Apparently they backed into her. And their handlebars were fucked, so... yeah.
Classic, bringing back
Luckily,
World of
it seems like
Warcraft
it's not going to be too much of an
exactly
issue.
how it
She
was
seems
back
fine.
during patch 1.12.1 of September 2006, before the launch of its first ever expansion. It would run in parallel to the normal World of Warcraft of today and would slowly re-release its expansions, allowing people to relive them once more. In the summer of 2023, World of Warcraft Classic would release the
To be
Hardcore
fair, if you're on a
Realms
bike,
game
you
mode.
have to get
These
hit
are
by a car
separate servers.
eventually. I've got hit by 2. It's a game people play. It's a
From
Blizzard
normal
game.
ones
I
in
don't
which you
play
can
it.
create a new character, but if you die, you lose that character forever, hence why it was called Hardcore. And this is where Sodapoppin comes in, a streamer that has been streaming for
Sodapop.
over a decade now. In his early days, he was a popular World of Warcraft streamer, and when he saw the announcement of World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore, he would create a hardcore streamer game.
Do you want to hear the funny thing about that? So I was doing food delivery on my bike. I got hit by a car twice. Yes. That very same year, I broke my ankle. Do you want to guess how? It wasn't by a car. I was walking down the fucking stairs.
Guild in October 2023, in which he and a bunch of other big streamers would try their best to level up their character to level 60 without dying, and eventually also try to do endgame content.
Yeah.
It was a big success, so at the end of 2024, he decided to launch Season 2.
No, I was
This
walking
time,
downstairs.
better and bigger than ever before. The amount of streamers that participated in this Season 2 was insane. There are streamers here who had never even played World of Warcraft. That were
that's helped
huge
my
in
eyes.
games that they played. Some were League of Legends pros, some were Counter-Strike pros. I mean, the list went on. It was an astounding amount of people. And of course, one of the many, many big streamers that had joined OnlyFans was none other than Pirate Software. Seeing that he had built such a massive influence over the year of 2024, adding him to the guild was seen as a net positive. It was seen as a good thing.
Okay.
Until one day, it wasn't. The maximum level you could reach
think I
in
heard
World of
about
Warcraft
this.
Classic Hardcore was level 60. And getting there, just by itself, is already an ordeal that lasts dozens of hours and sees you try your best to not die. Now, Dire Maul is a dungeon that you can only access if you're level 58 at the minimum, and its appeal is the amount of great gear that it drops. Dungeons are typically ran
I'm
by
assuming
5
it's the
people,
hardest
so
one, then.
Pirate Software and 4 other streamers decided to take this on in order to get better gear. Now, usually, when you're in a dungeon or a raid, there's always a team leader, someone who calls the shots. It's a very stressful role, especially in a raid when you're managing a couple dozen people, and it's even crazier in hardcore World of Warcraft because whatever you decide might affect the accounts of the people playing. One wrong move and they lose dozens of hours of progress, and it's all on you. I'm saying this because I want you to bear in mind that Pirate Software is not the group leader here. But as silly as this sounds, the beginning of Pirate Software's downfall was because of this dungeon and what you're about to see here.
Well, yeah, doesn't he like turn tail and fucking leave them to be?
Here, the YouTuber Dev, otherwise known as Short Fat Otaku, great name by the way, combined the perspectives of everyone who was streaming in the dungeon minus one person. One of them was Pirate Software on the top right. As you're watching
Why
this,
minus
you're
one
gonna hear
person
the
when they're
team
not
leader
streaming?
say, run. In World of Warcraft dungeons or raids, this means retreat, but help each other retreat. Not every man for himself. Don't care about your teammates. You're meant to stick around, try your best to outmaneuver the enemies while making sure your teammates also make it out with you. But as you might guess, that's not what happened here at all. Watch.
God damn
Run,
it.
run.
Just run. Guitar, are you dummy?
All right, so he said run. The team tries their best to make sure that they all get out together.
The massives.
No.
Look at Pirate Software.
Aussie, are you fine? Any grenades,
I got last
anything?
stand. You can just
Heal
kill
him,
them.
heal him.
Yeah, you just heal me. Just come back a little bit.
What's on me? Sitting barefoot.
No, video's
Stop me,
too
just
quiet.
run.
I can help a lot. Yeah.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
What are you talking about? Why am I walking?
This
Look
is
at my mana.
savageable. Come
Innovate
on,
you?
man.
Kill
So his teammate told him, Pirate, why are you walking, bro? This is salvageable. Come on, man. He doesn't care. He keeps running all by himself.
Just kill the mastiffs.
Innovate.
Kill
Use
the
Nova,
healer.
bro,
Kill the
come on.
mastiffs. We got
He
this.
heals.
In a sense of
War something?
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
Just kill the mastiffs. One shot. Okay, we
More
pulled
than-
another
more on the way,
shot.
more on the
Run
way.
now. The mastiffs can
So
be
in
ice
other words,
novas.
he's killed them.
Now we're gonna wait.
Musara?
Oh.
God, look how far ahead he is.
Okay, get out.
There he is.
Run.
Evocation's on cooldown, man.
I can taunt last
How much mana is
moment
ice?
as well.
There's no that much mana.
You have a boss in you. You called run.
Getting slowed.
Fuck. Wait.
Anything for me?
I can-
Stop me. Oh,
I
no.
don't think... I cannot stun him. Also,
No,
you
just
good?
run.
He is just chilling.
So, that sounded like a massive fuck up, didn't it?
Yes, it did, Short Fat Otaku. Bear in mind, Pirate Software's excuse here was, I have no mana, I can't help you, when he clearly had 2 items in his inventory that could bring back up his mana. He could have totally helped and saved his 2 teammates that ended up dying, losing all their
2 people
progress.
died?
This was a disaster. One of his teammates, Yamato, on the left here, confronted him and was asking him what happened, like what's going on? And this was what Pirate Software had to say right after the fact.
You instantly ran. You didn't even look
As much
back.
as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
I'm
You
not angry at all. I'm
You
not angry at all.
overpulled 2 packs. You overpulled 2 packs and a boss. I had 1,400 mana left. I had to spend all of that mana to try and put it on Blizzard to save you guys in the first place, and nothing left. You weren't paying attention to party resources. You overpulled, and you weren't paying attention to where the boss was. That's not on me.
So 2 of his teammates pretty much lost everything. He very clearly ran on his
So I
own.
don't play the game, so I can't exactly say anything about this, but if he had 2 items to put his mana up that he could have healed them with, dick move.
He could have just said, you know what, look, yes, I panicked, I screwed up, my bad, sorry. But he instead decides to blame his entire team except for himself. It was your guys' fault for pulling in the enemies. It was your guys' fault for calling run in the middle of a fight. It was your guys' fault for this and that. This was very weird behavior. I mean, this is just a game. And he was acting like if he apologized, he would be committing a cardinal sin or something. It made his teammates very uncomfortable to the point where the guild leader had to step in. Now, Sodapoppin was initially the guild leader, but then, unexpectedly, he dueled Tyler1, who had leveled up to level 60 and became a very important member of the guild in a fight that would determine who the new guild master.
See, I don't know who this bloke is, but I know who this dude is. I'm not a big fan of this dude. Mainly just because, like, I don't think he's done anything. I don't know him or anything, so I don't know if he's done anything bad or anything. I've seen some of his videos where he's just screaming at the top of his lungs at shit. And it's like, dude, you are a grown adult. You are a grown adult. Why the fuck are you screaming like that? I never
Master
understood
would
it.
be. What no one was expecting, though, was that Tyler 1 would beat Soda Poppin, becoming the Guildmaster. Seeing that this was becoming a big guild issue, he had to step in and brought both Yamato and Pirate Software into a call in order to squash the beef once and for all. The result? A catastrophe. Watch.
What do you want, man?
Let me say it again.
He already said his piece.
Pirate.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear
I
God.
want to speak to him because I didn't speak to him correctly. I said it again. We all did mistakes, bro. Like I didn't say, we are just blaming you. It's about the zero accountability is what makes us so mad.
There's no zero
You see the point?
accountability, dude. Everyone can do something better.
you-
But when you open up and
No,
you yell over another
no,
person
listen,
like you
can
were doing
I
earlier,
speak?
Nah, I'm good.
You
See ya.
What?
I'm not doing that shit again with him. Nah, he did it the first time. I'm not doing it a second one. Not interested.
Says the person trying to talk over him.
I
So.
mean, this is so weird. Yamato was being as mature as possible here, saying, listen, this was all our fault. We're not blaming you. We just want you to admit, just like we've admitted, that we all screwed up, and he couldn't even say that. Leaving the call like an
How many-
immature, disrespectful baby as Yamato was talking. This not only rubbed his dungeon teammates
He's
the
actually
wrong way,
pretty
it
chill
rubbed
dude
the
now?
entire OnlyFans guild, as well
Okay.
as the viewers, the wrong way. As criticism
If I
was
come across him, I
mounting,
may give him a
Pirate
little watch
Software
then.
was for the first time confronting massive controversy coming his
It was
way.
just a
At any
screaming,
point
I
in time, he
fucking
could have just
hate it.
simply apologized and moved on. Instead, he only chose to double down, playing the victim and saying that other streamers and OnlyFans just want to cause problems with him for no reason whatsoever.
Content is causing drama and problems. There's a lot of streamers actually in this guild that want to cause problems specifically with me and have even stated so publicly on their Twitch, saying that they want to have a fight with me for content. That's not content. That's dog shit.
Okay.
Ridiculous. Keep it. Not going to be a part of it.
I mean, seriously, why would people just want to attack you unprovoked for no reason whatsoever?
Yeah,
What
that
a
seems
cruel
weird.
world we live in. The bulk of these events would unfold from January 10th to January 12th, 2025. By that time, Pirate Software would have received so much criticism, so much hate, that he felt compelled to post a long tweet explaining his point of view on Twitter, saying, "To those trying to character assassinate me online for a bad pull in Dire Maul WoW hardcore, this is
Yeah.
hardcore WoW and a lot is on the line
Well,
when you step
kids
foot
tend
into
to
a
do that to
dungeon.
people,
Here's a
don't they?
light breakdown of the last 24 hours. Our party went the wrong way and overpulled multiple packs with the boss. The shot caller made the call to run, then went back on that call. During the run out,
No, he didn't.
another pack was pulled as we had opted to skip it previously, which is never a good thing. Communication was completely broken throughout this, and it was our second time failing the dungeon. Everyone played poorly, and 2 people ultimately lost their characters for it. Each person in this group made mistakes, including myself. I have never once said I was perfect in my play, nor that I was a god gamer. I'm just an ex-Blizzard employee that has played Mage for a long time.
You know what, guys? You know what? I think he works for Blizzard before. You know what? New drinking game. Every time he says the word, I worked for Blizzard, take a shot.
To pin that on a single person is absurd at best, and if you're calling for death and cancellation over it, you're too invested in this content in a very unhealthy way.
Actually-
If you're a creator engaged
Don't. I do not want to get blamed for you guys getting alcohol poisoning.
in this kind of behavior, then eventually your content wave will end, but the relationships you've sullied will be permanent. Hope it was worth it for you. To those trying to defend me, don't worry about it. This too shall pass. Do not attack anyone else on my behalf. I've always hated that kind of behavior. I have no intention of stopping making things or not doing stuff as I have already been. Those who are banned will stay so. I've never liked that kind of knee-jerk
Me
reaction
and
behavior
you
in
feel
our
the
community
same thing,
before, and I
Melon.
will not be changing that now. For those that don't understand why they will stay banned, we had a 10-hour-long hate raid over it live on Twitch. We had to ban nearly 4,000 accounts across all platforms, and our moderators received death threats regularly throughout it all. People called for me to be killed both in-game and out of game. They tried to get me banned from Twitch, the guild, and WoW. They tried to make disparaging comments about our ferret rescue or that we somehow hurt animals. They tried
Okay.
to spread rumors saying I was
Okay. So before I say anything, because I don't know what this is, nothing online, nothing in these type of situations is worth a death threat. Honestly, if I find out that like anyone who views me or anything or does something in my name like this, you're gone. Like, I would fucking ban you. Like, there's nothing in this world that's worth a death threat. Nothing. Well, nothing in this world in terms of this sort of situation. There's nothing on Twitch that could possibly happen that could be worth a death threat. Nothing. We're fucking playing video games, my dude.
Convicted of felonies and many other things. The internet hate machine will not defeat me or the community that supports me. See you in WoW Hardcore tomorrow. So this was posted on January 13th, 2025. And while he did admit that everyone in the group made mistakes, including himself, it truly didn't feel genuine. It seemed like it was absolutely impossible for him to just say, I'm sorry, I misplayed. He just couldn't do it. Someone pointed that out, saying, where's the I messed up? And Pirate Software said, apparently you have no idea how to read, hope this helps, highlighting the paragraph in which he said, each person in this group made mistakes, including myself. Again, it was worded in a disingenuous way. He just couldn't take individual accountability here, no matter what. The top comment was a WoW streamer known by Joker D saying, just take the L, it's not that hard, to which Pirate Software said, hope this was worth it for you. So overall, this entire response didn't really help him at all. And even if it did, he would single-handedly ruin any progress it might have had in the coming days. He would double down, triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down, and eventually sextuple down, only to call OnlyFans a content guild built on hate.
Damn, that's how you get kicked.
And a lot of it was from a rogue that was bitching the entire time about every goddamn thing that was going on except for his own play. But the mage is the one at fault because the mage is the hero class and the mage has to do everything perfectly. Everyone in that played badly. The druid butt-pulled an extra pack on the way out. The tank chose to take us into a bad route through the entirety of the dungeon, pulled 2 packs and the boss at the same time. I, as the mage, went into that fight with 40% mana, tried to use my resources, used them poorly, and got myself out when the call was made to run, which, by the way, was made by them as well. Everyone played badly. In fact, the only person who didn't was the healer. And I explained that in the Twitter post, but no one wants to hear that shit.
No, you didn't, actually.
Because they want it to be a double down, a triple down, a quadruple down. They want to have a villain. They want to have an enemy. They want to fight that shit into the ground. They want to send death threats to people over it. Because they're goddamn insane. Because this guild has turned into a content guild built on hate, not a content guild built on experiences. Because they're freaking monsters, dude.
It's just crazy how we got to this point and we're not even halfway through this drama, and all he had to really realistically do was look at the camera and say, you know what, I'm sorry. We all misplayed, yes, but I screwed up by running away the way I did. I had 2 items that could have restored my mana so I could help the 2 people who died, but I just simply panicked and ran away. And so even though we all misplayed, I just want to say I'm sorry for my play. But no, it was too hard for him. Guys, he worked at Blizzard, and Blizzard...
But no, seriously, he is right. If he had basically just said, my bad, I shouldn't have done this. Realistically, I shouldn't have done that. But I do understand, like, the idea of I don't want to fully admit it. Like, I wouldn't want to fully admit that I got 2 people's characters killed. But you have to. Well, no, he was a mage. I don't know if that's a healer or not.
Blizzard employees simply don't make mistakes.
Yeah, he was a mage.
That's a given. As Pirate Software was too busy playing the victim, a clip of the streamer Lucari surfaced in which he was doing a dungeon with Pirate Software. You see, Lucari is someone who had never played World of Warcraft up until this point. He was playing a mage, just like Pirate, but he was kind of having a hard time keeping up with everything going on. Here's how Pirate treated him. I'm sure you can tell from the title. Pirate Software bullying a totally new player to the game. Pathetic, dude. Watch.
Yeah.
So they have to evocate to get your mana back for the next pull. Ugh.
Reminded me, I sorry, I don't play the game, so I forgot. If you remind me, I can help you out real quick.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the party. You're right, Chad. If only someone else would cast Arcane.
Okay.
If only.
Okay, new player to the game, no need to be a dick.
Can't really keep wishing for things that just aren't here, though.
That's true. That's true. Can't wish for the rogue. Can't wish for another mage to cast Arcane in.
Yeah.
Brother, may I have some oats? Oh, since we have 2 mages, we could probably poly the ads.
Wait, we have 2 mages. Oh, man.
The sarcasm is not needed, my dude. It is not needed at all.
Yeah, I can poly.
Here I've been the only one casting Arcane in. Incredible.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's wild, right?
God, even reality TV can't recreate such an awkward moment, man. Just ruining the whole vibe.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the party. You're right, Chad.
Hey man, I'm new to the game, so if you want me to help with Arcane, just let me know, remind me. Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the game, right chat? Oh, we have 2 mages. Oh, I didn't know that. All that in the face of a new player who was being nothing but nice, honestly. And yet Pirate
honestly.
Software had the gall to complain about being bullied by other content creators when he was literally doing that to someone as innocent as Lakari. The culmination of all this would force Sodapoppin to take the decision of kicking Pirate Software from OnlyFans, pinging everyone in the OnlyFans Discord and saying this: yes, I made a decision to kick Pirate. I felt a large majority of people in the guild felt uncomfortable playing or being around him and all that drama that surrounded him at this point. Even though some people may have not felt that way, a lot did. And after seeing some clips today from him
Little meme in the corner.
quadrupling down, or I don't know what number we're on at this point, I think I'm making the right decision, but still I feel bad. Try to just let this whole thing slide into forgetfulness and move on, in my opinion. Stay safe, gamers. So look, at the end of the day, in World of Warcraft in general, when you're in a raid or dungeon, you have to trust every single member on your team to make sure that not only you complete the raid or dungeon, but that you also survive. This also applies on a way bigger scale in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore, because
yeah, I can
one bad
imagine.
teammate can cost you the account that you've put dozens or even hundreds of hours in. And people just couldn't trust someone who couldn't take any accountability like Pirate Software. As soon as things would have gone wrong, he would have probably just ran for his life and said he had no mana again. And not many people
Oh, yeah, no, fair, 100%. The thing is, though, as well, you got this meme fucking hell. You've got to think about it this way as well, which is if he actually was doing his job for you, and he did run out of mana and he didn't have items or anything, would you be able to actually trust him that he was telling the truth and he's not just like bobbing it off so he can like go survive himself? You would never be able to trust him again. And like, you just wouldn't be able to trust him. That's like, trying to think of example. Like me and my mate, we fuck around a lot. We do not trust each other on bridges. In Minecraft and shit. Because, like, we've kicked each other off a bridge every now and then. All in good fun, you know what I mean. But, like, there's always that little piece of thing in your head, like, this fucker does it. But, like, that's the lighthearted stuff. This, people
really
don't like
felt
you
sorry
enough.
for him, because at the end of the day, he was the embodiment of this meme. No one was forcing him to sextuple down. No one was forcing him to bully a new player. The only person who was shooting themselves in the foot with a shotgun was none other than Pirate Software. At this point, Jason Thor Hall, otherwise known as Pirate Software, was slowly but surely becoming a lolcow, but he had no idea. But that was normal, because fundamentally speaking, a lolcow is never aware that they're a lolcow. Look, there are a lot of definitions of what a lolcow is, but if I had to sum it up, well, it would be very simple.
Boogie, I
It's
think
someone
is
who
the person I
simply
think of when I hear
embodies
this
the
word.
worst of the worst when it comes to human traits, but they would be
what
constantly
is it?
convinced that
The dude who faced Syndicate, what's his name? Ah, what's his name? The fat fucker. Wings of Redemption. Whenever I think of Lolcal, I think of him.
they are the perfect human being, never able to admit fault and never willing to, even when they know that they're in the wrong. This by itself becomes very entertaining, and there are
Yellow
many
Volcom
examples.
mug?
They come in all shapes, sizes,
Yep.
and even colors. And the mage who ran out of mana was about to join their ranks imminently. All he had to do to avoid this fate was just fucking apologize, man.
Literally.
But
He
he
just had
just
said,
couldn't.
"Sorry,
In
bro."
fact, what he ended up doing was maybe one of the cringiest things in this entire video. I genuinely can't believe that someone in his 30s said this, but I mean, watch this yourself. You'll know what I mean.
I didn't
What'd
get
he
this
say?
deep. Stop feeding into it. All of the accounts that are messaging me are getting reported. There's a funny fact about this. I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. There's a whole lot of other people there that still know me. And all of these reports are going directly to them. They're well aware of the situation, and everybody who's messaging me, they're going to get read. It's kind of a dumbass thing to do. And
Oh, poor baby did that. My uncle works for Blizzard. My uncle works for Blizzard, and he's gonna ban your account. He's gonna ban your account. Oh my god, I'm such a bad dude. I can do it. I can do it. I can get people to ban your account. Oh my god, no, you can't, dude. No, you can't. You're fucking... Holy fuck. Oh my god, like what the fuck is wrong with you?
And I can't wait for all of them to get banned. Yep.
Yeah, so all you guys whispering me right now with these threats,
Hello?
well, guess what? My dad works at Nintendo, and I'm going to tell him personally about every single one of you, so good job. See you later. It's like, bro, if they're sending you death threats, you really just have to report them in game, and I'm sure something will happen. You don't have to actually bother your Blizzard alumni. This clip was on January 14th.
No, we're watching
and guys, I
Mugen's,
swear to you, I am
Pirates,
constantly impressed by how
Pirates Software,
ironic
their
life
video.
can be. I don't think we live in a simulation, but sometimes I do get the feeling because some things are just so perfect in comedic timing, you'd think that there was someone writing.
Sorry, that just fucking got me. My father is not even part of my life for like 15 years already, and he's a better threat than his dad. Oh.
A script. One day
That's
after this
funny,
clip came
Phoenix.
out, Pirate Software was streaming the game Ashes of Creation during its second alpha. This is an MMORPG similar to World of Warcraft, and it also has raids as well as dungeons. During a
Oh,
raid,
can't trust him.
Pirate Software would wipe the entire team. He would kill everyone single-handedly by pulling in the wrong unit. What would be his first reaction? Well, watch for yourself.
Sabu is not paying attention.
He pulled in the enemy,
Sabu.
and he died.
God damn it, guys.
Oh, no, who pulled the ocular?
So one of you pulled the ocular. Why?
Wait,
Now half the raid is dead.
is he thinking that like he's not? They didn't see it.
Wrong unit. What would be his first reaction? Well, watch for yourself.
Sabu is not paying attention.
He pulled in the enemy,
Sabu.
and he died.
God damn it, guys.
Oh, no, who pulled the ocular?
Wait, is he thinking that no one can see his stream and see what he
So
just
one
did?
of you pulled the ocular. Why? Now half the raid is dead. Was there a reason for that?
I swear, it is so funny knowing that he was the one who pulled the ocular. This is also another thing with lolcows. They are unintentionally hilarious. Pirate Software here was genuinely
What?
pissed, okay? He genuinely was livid.
Did he
But
not
knowing that
realize
he
he
was the one
pulled
who
it?
caused the wipe is so fucking funny. It showed people that World of Warcraft wasn't an isolated case. He was doing this in Ashes of Creation and would very easily do this a third time somewhere else. It was him. He was the issue here. And his lack of accountability was astounding. But you know what else is astounding? His ability to keep digging himself in deeper holes. During this whole fiasco, Joker D would talk about Pirate Software and would call him out.
I honestly fuck Pirate
No, I'm sorry. What the fuck is that name? Joker Daniel cooks Pirate Software and drops 11-inch cock on cam. 11 inches? Really?
Fiasco, Joker D would talk about Pirate Software and would call him out.
I honestly fuck Pirate Software. Like, straight up, bro, this dude is a complete fraud. At least in the WoW space, I don't care if he worked for fucking Blizzard. The guy probably made fucking coffee for some devs. I don't even believe for a second.
So out of all the streamers in OnlyFans, Joker D probably went the hardest on Pirate Software. He took segments of this rant and uploaded it as a YouTube video.
Yeah.
That YouTube video would then be removed due to a violation of community guidelines, and the person who striked it cited the reason as being harassment and cyberbullying.
What?
One could only guess who took this video down. I mean, seriously. Joker D would never reveal the name of the brand or whatever that was behind this, but seeing that the video had gotten brigaded by Pirate Software's community, for many, it was
Yeah, we
safe
can
to say
guess.
that Pirate Software was the one who took this video down because he simply didn't like it, abusing the copy strike system on YouTube. Seeing that Pokemon had done this in the past back in 2020, getting an amazing community reaction,
Yep, no
and of
one
course
likes
we can't
that.
forget about Alinity doing this as well back in 2018. Wow, I'm old.
I'm gonna copy strike this guy.
I mean, it was genius. It worked so well for every content creator who had done that prior. So obviously, this was the play. Congratulations. You know, it's so fascinating to me how the internet works sometimes. Someone could mind their own business for months, for years, for decades, but as soon as they do something that makes them so incredibly unlikable, the internet starts seeing a big red target on your back and they strike.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. As soon as like people start like fucking hating your guts, you're done. Like, I only knew him for like a little bit from like his shorts and stuff. I never watched his stream, never. Could not be bothered. He played WoW. I didn't watch WoW. WoW, I mean. I didn't watch MMOs. I don't particularly like them. Like, I've tried them a few times, but I've never liked them fully. I prefer shooter games, story games, that type of stuff. But like, I remember hearing about all this stuff and hearing about everything he's been doing and just thinking, I can't be bothered to go into it. I'm going to avoid him. It's not like I'm saying, oh, because of all the stuff, I'm avoiding him. It's like, no, I can't be asked to go in to see if he's actually a good dude or if all this is actually meant to be proper. So I can't be asked. Then this video drops and it's like, cool, let's go.
Pirate Software
I'll
had a
get most of my
talent of
information.
building up a huge loyal community in
And
just
at
a
least
span of
anything
a
that I
couple
want
of
to look
months.
up, I can
When
look
January
up.
2025 came by though, he proved to us that he had another talent, building up a massive community of very loyal haters. These incidents that we just talked about had ensured that. This is when those very same haters would start scrutinizing every single aspect of Pirate Software, both as a brand and as a person, only to eventually dismantle this massive empire that he had built. Now look, just to be clear, Pirate Software has always had haters, dating all the way back to September 2024, and there were earlier instances too. This is
See, the
normal.
issue
When you
is,
get
well,
famous,
like,
when
as soon
you
as you,
take
like,
over the
build
algorithm the
an
way he
audience like that, one wrong move in their direction, one wrong move. Like, if you piss them off, dude, you're fucked.
did, some people will naturally get fatigued from you. I mean, you might not believe this, but even someone like Queso has haters, purely because he's a massive content creator, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Some of these early haters of Pirate Software would start making videos talking about his past. About how, for
thing is,
example,
like,
he wasn't the game
everyone's gonna have a
developer he
hater.
was making himself out to be,
one's
especially with
everyone's
his
cup of
Blizzard
tea.
experience. About how he used to go by the name of Moldavius Fictree and was a well-renowned furry in Second Life and EVE Online. But those videos would never get enough traction to actually matter. As you can see, this video right
I was
here
gonna
with the
say, is
title
it your
of
mom?
Pirate
But-
Software, the streamer who faked his game dev career, had reached almost 100,000 views. From the like and dislike ratio, we can see how Pirate Software had somehow, either directly or indirectly, sent his community to brigade this video, and just like Joker D's video, it was taken down by abusing the copy strike system and inciting harassment and cyberbullying. So essentially, if you were an early hater of Pirate Software, if you had something to say, well, chances are no one heard you. This is how for a long time he was able to sweep all the hate, feedback, and criticism
Well, that's how
under
it's
the
to be,
rug.
isn't it?
Except this time, after all the events that we just saw unfold, he had way too many eyes examining
stream
his
quality just
every
really
move,
bad,
and
or
he
is,
couldn't
like,
just
the
sweep
clips he
criticism
got
under
really
the
bad
rug
quality?
anymore. For example, around the end of January 2025, Pirate Software had DMCA'd an indie game and threatened to sue its developer.
What?
Why? Well, the developer shows us the main reason why Pirate Software wanted the game taken down. Here it is. It's this roach.
I want a 3-minute break. Okay. So we're on a 3-minute break on Twitch, so I'm just gonna wait for that basically. I feel like the 3-minute break is better than if I did a normal one. I mean my normal stuff, because it was happening so much that they were getting like 30-second ads that like I just wanted to make sure that didn't. This is the best I could do. I'm sorry, what? Interesting. You never realize how long 3 minutes is until you have to just like wait for someone. What am I gonna play though? Yeah, I don't understand the joke. But what am I gonna play for tomorrow though? Because I'm looking at what games to play. I don't know whether I should start Stealth. The other Plague Tale. What do you guys think? I wouldn't like it. I don't think. I could do Life is Strange. Oh, no, I don't feel. I just did Plague Tale, so I think I should leave that be. Yeah, I know, but I'd have to leave those to Lilith now because we fucked it up one time, where we both did it at the exact same time, and then somehow it messed up. No, because if I don't leave those to Lilith, then I have the issue of it. See, she's already done it. Because like we both did it at the exact same time the last time, and it fucked it. I feel like I may play Horizon. I don't know though. That's the issue. I have a lot of things I want to play that I don't know whether I'm gonna play or not. I do not know.
Wearing the same wizard hat that he was wearing during World of Warcraft, while mimicking some of the things that he was saying. Watch.
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
This whole game got DMCA'd because of this. I mean, this is how sensitive he is. And
That
now
seems-
many people were made aware of this. He couldn't just copy, strike, or DMCA just about anyone, because every time he did, he spawned more haters. His strategy was now outdated. Everyone was made aware of what had happened to this indie game. And speaking of indie games,
There's
there
no
was
way that's-
renewed scrutiny over Pirate Software's indie game called Heartbound, with many wondering why it's been in early access since 2018 with no release date in sight.
Damn, that's
Give
a
it
long
3
time.
more years, it'll be a decade. Some people were comparing him to Yandere Dev, a very well-established lolcow who hadn't released his game in over a decade. And when people actually analyzed its code, they found some of the worst written code known to mankind.
Damn.
Seeing all this scrutiny and criticism catch up to his own game development must have hit one hell of a nerve, because very shortly after he announced that Heartbound would start receiving monthly updates. And all
Okay.
it took was people going there and reviewing it negatively. He was hoping that this would steer off the criticism and the scrutiny, and that things would eventually finally go back to normal, but the haters weren't really done just yet. People were putting into question his entire identity, the fact that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years, but worked what exactly? As well as him claiming that he was one hell of a hacker who had gone to the yearly hacking conference, DEF CON, and won some pretty important events there with the help of his team that he never mentioned, of course. Always
Cool. But yeah, no, what did he do?
taking credit for this by himself. I mean, at some point he was invited to a podcast called Dropped Frames. This was a clip from it, and here's the title: Pirate Software on how he became a hacker for the government. These were the stories
Wait,
that he was
so
telling.
he plays video games online. He used to work at Blizzard. He's talked to the big bosses at Blizzard. He's a hacker that's won a DEF CON, and he's worked for the governments.
People
I
watch
don't
this.
think
You're a hacker.
so.
Like that's where you like kind of started.
Actual hacker.
An actual hacker. Like,
Yes,
not like
yes.
I'm a hacker. No, you're an actual
Not a
hacker.
kidding.
You've
Yeah.
won.
Like an actual hacker.
Yeah,
Yeah, my last job was hacking power plants for the federal
Hey,
government.
hello,
I worked for
how
the
you
United
doing?
States Department of Energy.
So
Just
dude
the
walks in with a
laptop and my-
laptop and a suit, and you lean over to who's that guy?
Oh, that's the hacker from the
Yeah,
government.
that's the hacker.
It's even worse 'cause we go in like 3 to 4 man teams, man. So like we've got a team. Of
Oh, you
dudes
had a
looking
fleet.
Like
You had
this.
like a team of
Yeah.
dudes in
It
suits
wasn't just
holding
me.
laptops,
Yeah,
walking into
exactly.
restricted areas. Okay.
Training for what?
When
What
he
you doing?
says things like this, what he's trying to paint in your mind as a viewer is that he's some sort of Unit 8200 Mossad
Oh, nice. Go. Have a good day training. But no, honestly, yeah, that seems to be the thing. He's surrounded by a bunch of people that are smart and that can do the job that I think he just passes by.
agent writing zero-day exploits on USBs that are snuck into Iranian nuclear facilities and that infest and shut down the entire technical operation of that nuclear power plant. When in reality, if you look at his LinkedIn and reconcile it against his skill set, what he did was social engineering.
There's a LinkedIn.
He wrote phishing emails and tried
Yeah.
to gain access to credentials and user systems that way.
So Coding Jesus said it best. Pirate Software's entire identity was slowly starting to unravel right before our very eyes. From the shorts that made him go viral, to the stories he used to say on stream, to quite literally everything about him was nothing more than either an exaggeration or him trying as best as possible to sugarcoat reality. You can very clearly see on his link.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be starting, because I've been off the gym for a little while since my surgery. I'm going to be doing my normal workout stuff now, so I need to get up at like 4:45
That first
tomorrow
off, he
to be
didn't
able
work
to
at
get to
Blizzard
the
for
gym.
7 years. It was actually 6 years, 6 months. And that his initial roles were him being in quality assurance for the first
Phil,
4
how you
years at
been?
Blizzard. So the majority of his time there, he was in an entry-level role, eventually being promoted multiple times and finishing off as a senior red team specialist. In his own description
team.
of the job, he said, infiltrated and exploited physical access controls, managed social engineering operations to improve employee awareness and resilience, and finally
I'm doing
created,
good.
launched, and managed a global web application bounty program. As Coding Jesus said, this guy would literally just send phishing emails, make phone calls, try to
Yeah, the thing is, luckily for me, like with phishing emails that we get, I just don't do anything. Like, realistically, it's going to get me in trouble eventually, but I rarely respond to
pretend to be
emails.
an outsider in order to have employees make mistakes so that they can improve internal protocols. I mean, it's an important job, that's for sure. But even on his LinkedIn, he would make claims that he worked on all these different games. I mean, yeah, indirectly, but none of your code made it to the game. You didn't model, you didn't texture, and you sure as hell didn't animate.
You should.
You
It
just so
depends
happened
what time is
to
it for you?
work on internal
Because you have to get
projects
up
in
before
parallel
5
to
a.m.
these
to get to
games.
the train.
And yet, every time someone would mention something about games, about the video game industry, about whatever, he would always start off by saying, I
Oh, no,
worked
you
7
have to get
years
up
at
at 5
Blizzard,
a.m.
actually, so I know what I'm talking about. When in reality, no, you have more experience as an indie developer than you ever had as a developer at a AAA company, and that's the truth. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay,
It's
it's
just
not
that
the
he
worst,
made this
but
such
I'll-
an important
yeah,
and
go to
integral
bed.
part of his personality that it
Well,
felt
have
like a
something to eat and
massive
then go to bed.
betrayal. But that's not all. His dad was Joey Ray Hall. This
I don't know who
picture
that
right
is.
here is of 10 people. And if you don't know who they are, these people happen to be the original founders of Blizzard Entertainment.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
these guys are legends in every sense of the word. And the guy in the middle is none other than Jason Thorhall's father. He later became the director of cinematics at Blizzard, which is probably the only thing that Blizzard has been consistently good at for the last 20 years. He was also
yeah.
the inspiration behind this guy in South Park from the famous World of Warcraft episode. I mean, this
Oh,
guy
don't-
was a
don't do
legend
that to
in every
yourself.
sense of the word.
Don't kill
and so
yourself.
Mashable.com, when they made this
But like, cinematics at Blizzard are fucking fire though. Like, they do great at the cinematics. Like, I wish they brought out more
article
cinematics
about
for,
Pirate
like,
Software
Overwatch.
titled How Streamer Pirate Software Gained Nearly 2 million subs in 6 months, they just had to mention the fact that he's a Nepo baby. Saying, when he was 16, he landed a dream job as a game tester at Blizzard Entertainment, which, before the bloated loot boxes and corporate acquisition by Microsoft for $68.7 billion, was considered one of the most respected companies in the video game industry. It helped that he was a Nepo baby, since his dad, Joey Ray Hall, had spent over 2 decades at the industry titan since almost the very beginning. Now, of course, after 6 months, he would leave because he felt that the corporate life wasn't for him, and
then he
many
comes
years
back.
later would reapply by himself without the help of his dad, landing a QA role, which I believe
Okay,
because
I'm sorry. without the help of his dad. No, no, you have the help of your dad because you have your name. Like, as much as you don't want the help of your dad, you've got the help of your dad because of your name.
If he had the help of
They're
his
gonna
dad,
see your
no
name
way
and
he
they're
would
gonna be
end
like,
up
"Oh,
in an
fuck,
entry-level
okay,
position.
it's-
But still,
Pay
just
more
them
attention to
including
this
the
dude.
sentence, calling him a Nepo baby, truly triggered him beyond belief. I mean, look at what he had to say.
Yeah, really not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. It's just, it's one of those things that I've been trying to fight my entire career. It's one of the things that I've had to argue with people in chat about. It's one of the things that we ban people for here. Anytime people say shit like that, because it's deeply disrespectful and it completely overwrites any of the things that I've done throughout my career
Oh, Nepo baby.
as something that is somebody else's success, which
Is it
they have
Nepo
not
baby
been
and stuff?
in any possible respect.
Do you upset?
And
You
it's
do.
just,
Have a good
it's just
day.
rude as fuck.
Have a good sleep
So-
and have fun at your
What
first
did
day.
he say? In the thing, he said it was, he called me a Nepo baby. In his article. No, that's dog shit behavior.
In the past
Really
fire.
gross. In any case, let's go find
You
somebody
need
to
your
raid.
diaper change.
I mean, you heard him, right? He would ban people in chat if they called him a Nepo baby. It's the easiest way to trigger him. And yet, at the same time, the same guy who's acting
Oh, can you imagine like a speedrunning thing on like the speedrunning subreddit? Fastest ban from the Pirate Software's chat.
triggered over being called Nepo baby
'Cause you don't have,
said
like, you
this
have that,
multiple times on his
Fastest
stream.
ban from
Watch.
So I'm second generation Blizzard. I'm the first second generation Blizzard employee that ever existed in the company. I'm also a second generation Blizzard employee. I was a second generation Blizzard employee.
Take
I
a
was
shot.
the first second generation Blizzard employee ever. I was the first second
Take a
generation
shot.
Blizzard employee.
Everyone take a
And I
shot
love
every
that
time he
shit.
says no.
I love that
says,
company.
Blizzard.
Working for Blizzard sucked. And I
Again, a lol cow is someone who is unintentionally hilarious when being 100%
Well,
serious, and I just can't stop laughing at this guy. I mean, seriously? I was the first second generation Blizzard employee? What is this, the Chinese dynasty? Like, what are you even talking about? And let's be real here, the only reason you were the first second generation Blizzard employee was purely because of your dad. Because
Yeah.
back then, they didn't even have a recruiting team. You were just the easiest hire. And I think one thing he has to understand is that being a Nepo baby isn't a bad thing. I think most people, if they had a dad or a mom who worked a really cool job, they would love to take advantage of that, and they do. For example, Jack Quaid is an actor that was called a Nepo baby multiple times by fans. That's because his parents are both Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, two very successful actors.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Nepo babies, nepotism isn't the worst thing in the world. Like, it can be really bad depending on the person who's doing it. Like, if you get an underqualified person into a role, they're not meant to be because of nepotism. Horrible. But, if you can get someone who's been groomed into it, who is extremely qualified, but normally wouldn't have the biggest chance into the role because of nepotism, that's a good thing. Like, you can probably get some real talented people into roles.
His response was very refreshing for
Because of
fans,
nepotism.
agreeing with the Nepo
But
baby label and saying, I'm an immensely privileged
you have
person.
to
I don't
understand
think it
that it's
undermines
nepotism."
my talent. Adding that he was able to get representation pretty early on because of being a Nepo baby, and that it's already more than half the battle. So as I said, being a Nepo baby isn't inherently a bad thing. It's only bad when you try to deny it. When you get defensive, because come on, who are you lying to? And that was what Pirate Software was doing. It was becoming more and more obvious that Pirate Software had a massive ego, but also very deep-rooted insecurities. He wanted to appear like a genius no matter what. And according to him, geniuses never apologize, geniuses never admit fault. But they also never make mistakes and always, no matter what, figure things out on stream.
How old is he?
This is something that became painfully obvious.
So, he was 16 when he first took his job at Blizzard. He left for a little while, then came back, and he was 6 years there. So let's say 2 years, so he was 20 when he went back. 26, 28, 30-ish. He sounds like he's fucking 15. Does he not? Like, maturity level, he sounds like he's like 15.
Obvious when he would play some pretty hard puzzle games and would figure out some of the hardest things all by himself miraculously after looking at his phone, playing it off like it was some genius eureka moment. Outer Wilds is a critically acclaimed, story-rich space exploration game that just so happens to have some pretty complex puzzles. Pirate Software would play this game on stream, and he
I'd
would
be
proceed
fucked.
to solve these puzzles
I'm
all by
dumb as shit.
himself, miraculously, and more specifically, after looking at his phone. In the VOD of his gameplay, around 8 hours and 7 minutes, he gets stuck in an area and he needs to get out somehow. This is one of the many puzzles in this game. Now he would struggle to find the solution, deliberate with his chat, talk a bunch, and then at around the 8:20 mark, he would pull out his phone right here and continue talking to chat. This goes on for 2 minutes in which he deliberates while very clearly looking at his phone. And then eventually, at around the 8-hour 22-minute mark, he would get a eureka
Unfortunately,
moment.
not. Burger
Maybe it's
King
not
is
with the scanner.
less
Maybe it's a
mentally
different
draining.
Maybe it's not the scanner at all. Maybe it's the time. Maybe the fact that we were able to destroy the surface like that was the point.
Fuck on, hi Hayden.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Sorry for the Actually, guys. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I got it. I'm so smart. Wait a minute. Oh, this dude's a joke.
I have an idea.
Guys, wait a minute. Oh my god, I have an idea. Guys, oh my god. This just came out of nowhere. My brain just works differently. Did
I swear I haven't watched this before, by the way.
I mention that I worked 7 years at Blizzard? This would spread
Take a
like
shot.
wildfire on Reddit. This guy is faking his Outer Wilds run in order to appear to be a genius to his community. That's crazy. It's so ridiculous you can't even believe it. But as
Why
I
would
already
you
mentioned, he
cheat
was
that?
facing increased scrutiny.
Like, the thing is, I get looking at the answer if you did it. I've done it before. I'm pretty sure I've done it on stream. I don't fucking play it off as if I've not done that. Because I'm pretty sure you all can see me. I tell you guys, oh, I am fucking stuck. Let's look this up. Or I get you guys to tell me what to do.
He normally would have been able to get away with this, and he did get away with this in other games. It's just that now things were different. When questioned about cheating in Outer Wilds, this is what he had to say.
Why did you cheat in Outer Wilds? What? How the hell would you cheat in that game? Bro, we played it all live on stream. All right, bud. It's a wild ass thing to say.
Yes, how would you cheat while live streaming this as he stares into his phone for 2 straight minutes? You're absolutely right. The real controversy would be when he would play the game
Animal
Well that released on May 2024. You see, he played this game before the World of Warcraft controversy and before the increased scrutiny. But after he had embarrassed himself in Outer Wilds and World of Warcraft,
Everyone's
people
going
thought
back.
to go back and check his gameplay because they thought, wait, now that I think about it, this was kind of suspicious. And the evidence here
What'd he do?
was damning. It was simply undeniable. You see, Animal Well is a puzzle game, but not just any puzzle game. It has many puzzles and many secrets that are very easy to miss if you don't take your time analyzing every aspect of it. When the game first came out, you had people on Reddit and in forums trying to work together in order to find all of its secrets and puzzles. One of those
I love that
puzzles
type of game.
was the Wingding puzzle. This took the entire community over a week of
Wingding.
teamwork in order to find the solution. This was a group effort in every way, and no one person could have solved it by themselves. The guide came out on May 19th, 2024, and it just so happens that Pirate Software, miraculously, all by himself on stream, solved this puzzle on May 19th.
Oh my god. There's something wrong with this bloke. Like, is there not? There's just something wrong with him.
The day the guide came out. I mean, bro, seriously? You'd also have some people write entire essays with proof as to why they think that Pirate Software cheated. If you want to read this and have actually played Animal Well, you can pause the video, but in
No,
a
thank
nutshell,
you.
it's almost like
Actually-
he was
Do you guys want me to read this? Yes or no? I'm giving you like 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're skipping.
trying his hardest to ruin any ounce of reputation he had left. I mean, seriously, are you that insecure that you would cheat in a
Okay, fine. This is Everest Tries to Read. I can't believe anyone actually thinks Pirate Software did it entirely on his own. There's no fucking way he solved it all by himself in roughly 35 to 40 minutes, hours. The dude was 100% glancing at chat and or doing research off camera and just playing it off. It's also worth mentioning that he didn't find all of the wingdings. Is that meant to be like that? Anyway, wingdings. He was still missing the speed run and fruit one, and was just able to figure out the map from there. Similar to the community at first, although having the speed run wingdings, I'm gonna say that like that anytime, rather than Chameleon. So even if you assumed he was solving all, he didn't solve it all. Edit for more evidence. Fucking hell. Edit for more evidence. You randomly decided to go to the room where the vine bunny is, stare at it for a while, decide there's arrows behind the vine, and at one point he says, I wish I could use my mouse. Where'd that come from? Chat then tells him he can use his mouse as well as shake the window. Do you not just like figure out that you can use your mouse while you're doing this? It does sound like something you would say. To like, my cats are being dicks. To like talk about a dude's dick. Hey, that's his wingading. He's got a tiny one, tiny little wingading. Okay, bleh. At one point, he vehemently tells Chatter that the groundhog is a wombat, and then a few minutes later, he calls it a groundhog with no indication of anything that would have changed his mind. Hours later, he tries Groundhog Day out of the blue, even immediately trying multiple years after the first one. After refinding Hummingbird, Wingading to confirm that all birds give the same string, he does summarize that other ones could be found throughout annoying animals. Why would you annoy the animals? Okay, anyway, which isn't an insane assumption based on the piece. He does, however, also mention sequence breaking immediately, which has nothing to do with the way the hummingbird wingading are found. I guess you can make an argument for it, but I think it's a big leap in logic. He also guesses the bobcat puzzle almost immediately after this. If you can't tell, I am dyslexic and I am struggling. Literally, the next thing he does after solving the bobcat song is solving the kangaroo wingading with no explanation of his thought process. I can't find when he actually transcribes the bobcat song at all. If he even did, I would love to be proven wrong here. And while you're at it, I can't find when he originally found the hummingbird wingading either. Phil, thank you so much for the prime. Okay. He decides to look at... Fuck. I'm losing my mind. He decides to look for the remote in the house while on a fresh save because he can't remember where you get it, only for this house visit to make him make the connection with Poster. Edit, the following part is wrong, but I still stand by everything I said here. Okay, cool, I won't read that then. There is there are probably more examples of sketchiness, but I'm not going to watch the entire playthrough. There's just too many big leaps of logic that happen to be exactly correct. There's also the fact that he solves the bunny mural off screen, which is supposedly the only thing he did off screen, but how do we know that's true? In addition, just skimming through VODs, I saw people just straight up putting the solution to Wingdings bunnies into the chat. Even if he didn't address them, it's unlikely he didn't read at least one, which would have influenced his thoughts. Lastly, he has an incentive to streamline the puzzle solving process for greater entertainment value for his viewers, as well as to make himself look smart in front of his fans. The real so much pressure pisses me off. I've seen multiple people say he was the first one to reach the time capsule, which is completely wrong and a slap in the face to everyone in the community who works together to get it solved. Not that you made the claim yourself. Okay. That was Everest tried to read. Horrifyingly
fucking puzzle
bad.
game in order to appear to be a genius to the community? Really? It's insanity.
Fuck off,
But this
fuck
was
off.
reality because, as I said earlier, this scrutiny was disassembling every aspect of his brand and personality, even down to his most fundamental traits, like his own voice. People would somehow unearth this old clip of him at a convention in which he sounded completely different than how he sounds today,
Wait, what is he?
leading many to believe that he's either faking his voice or simply using a voice changer on his microphone.
Really?
Listen to this.
Show been so far?
Really,
It's actually
my
been
dude.
amazing. It's our first time out here
Hey,
at Denver
Yuri, how you
Comic Con,
doing?
and there's so many people, and they love the games, so it's been awesome.
So speaking of games, what do you have for us today?
So we have Champions of Breakfast, which is a twin-stick shooter that we made in
Okay, wait, how... Not to say this is a possible thing because of how old he fucking is, but like... How old is he at this clip? Because it could just be that his balls just dropped eventually.
24 days from concept to release on Steam. Blew up. It was really, really awesome. And that game is pretty difficult, so if you're into really hard arcade games, that's the kind of thing for you.
You know what though? To be fair, he sounds like such a pleasant person here. This is someone I can see myself being friends with. Look, people want to theorize and say that he has a voice changer or is faking his
He looks
voice.
like a
I think he
virgin.
was just killed by an evil clone. I think that's a better explanation. This of course wouldn't be the only clip where you'd hear him have a different voice, like this one for example.
I'm gonna have to peel my hot dog. I have to peel it.
Yeah, why does he sound...
Every good hot dog needs to be peeled. Every good hot dog needs to be peeled.
Why would you ruin a hot dog like this?
You see, now that I've peeled the hot dog, it's ready to eat.
Look, a hot dog is
That's
about
right.
to be eaten by Thor.
It's ready to
Let's
eat.
demand he smears
Okay, look, if you're not convinced yet, here's a more recent clip of him playing Animal Well. This was around a year ago, back in 2024. Look.
I don't know what that gives me though.
I don't know what is that supposed to do? How am I gonna put that shit in there? Oh, god damn it.
No,
To some
he
people,
just lost
this was
fucking
his voice
backbone, that's
changer
why.
glitching. To others,
Like,
this
it got
was him
ripped out of him
mistakenly
somehow.
getting too comfortable with his real voice. What does
You know why I got ripped out of him? Father works for Blizzard. And he works for Blizzard. And they take your backbone when they do that. And since he's a second generation, they took both of his. So he has none left. His entire family has no backbones.
Pirate Software have to say about this? Well,
Okay, no,
apparently,
I kinda
according
feel
to
bad
his
for that. We're
doctor,
not gonna fuck
his
with the
voice
father.
went through a second
The
puberty
father,
in
I
his
don't know
30s.
if he's a dude or
That's
not.
right.
I don't know why.
Apparently, your balls can drop
the dude's like,
twice.
but, like,
I could
still.
only find a handful of sources on this, and this article from the
Oh, yeah, for being
BBC
second
pretty much sums it up by saying that
generation,
as
they
we
take your
get
backbone
older,
and
the
your balls.
larynx gets stiffer, making the vocal cords less flexible. I mean, this isn't new. When you talk to someone who's 90 years old, they'll sound different than what they used to sound like in their 20s. But to have this much of a dramatic change? That's crazy. Regardless though, I mean, the pressure was getting to Pirate Software. Not only was his game getting scrutinized, not only was his past out in the open, but people were criticizing his gameplay, the way he played games, and even his voice. Things were getting out of control. So the next thing you know...
Legit, he had the option. So he had the option between losing his backbone and balls or sleeping his way up into the operation, and he chose to take away my backbone and balls. And then he slept his way up to the operation.
He was on stream with a
Because he had
psychologist
no
by the name
balls or
of
backbone to
Dr.
say no.
K. Alok Kanogia, otherwise known as Dr. K, runs the healthygamer.gg organization. He's a clinical psychologist who founded this brand in order to be able to reach the very big and growing demographic of gamers, a group of people who very often will struggle with mental health and not really
Why am I flipping a coin? Heads.
seek out therapy when they should. His content is mostly educational, drawing parallels between video games and what you go through mentally, and overall, he's been quite successful. Now, of course, that's not to say that he doesn't have his fair share of haters. Some people, for example, have criticized the fact that he does these therapy sessions with streamers in public, even though the person in question consents to it. From Dr. K's perspective, though, he wants to show people that streamers are humans too. And if someone like those streamers that they idolize is brave enough to get therapy, then they can do so too. His conversation—
I mean, yeah. But if I was on this point, by the way, if I was like going to go to therapy, but then I knew that therapy was going to be broadcasted everywhere, I would not talk
with Pirate Software would last over 3 hours and a half. It would get viewed by almost 1 million people, and having watched a good chunk of it, I can tell you right now, regardless of what you might think about Dr. K, I think this stream truly shows his incredible skill in being able to converse with such an obvious narcissist without having him rage quit the call, while still trying his best to give him a reality check. And for you to understand that, I want you to watch this clip.
For this shit right now is like, they come in and they're like, did you know that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years? Like, yeah, that was my career, and I'm proud of that. So of course I'm going to talk about that, because it gives context to talk about other things around the games industry, which is what we do on the stream.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting, when in reality I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase.
Sure.
This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this.
Yeah.
That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. I don't see it that way, but all right.
God, it must be so hard talking to someone like that. Anyway, in the next clip, you'll be seeing the logic behind Pirate Software's attitude when it comes to never apologizing.
Let me
like not give any context whatsoever.
Yeah, let's say yes to that. I think that's a bit of hyperbole, but
just an emotional response.
No, just say, hey guys. So basically, you know, when you tell the narrative, you start with like, I made a mistake. Everyone made mistakes. I was smug. And then there's a lot that comes after that. How would you feel about just ending it after that first paragraph?
I hate that.
Okay.
I have like an immediate emotionally angry response against that.
Very good.
Because it feels like idiocracy.
Okay.
It feels like, that's too long, didn't read, I don't need all those words when few words do gooder.
No, it's just because you're fucking trying to justify it. Don't make an excuse, my dude.
Hate that shit. Like I super hate that kind of communication of like there's a lot of people that say like, oh, you should just say my bad, guys. No.
Hey guys, I have a hoe.
That does not in any way explain a situation. That doesn't tell you any information that is real. It is hand waving for the masses in a way that is
fuck, this stream is weird.
Disingenuous to what happened and disingenuous to the people that are involved. I feel like to do that would—
Phoenix, you are a nurse. I feel weird the fact that you don't know where holes are. Because you have several.
Be just me lying for the sake of lying so that people would fuck off.
This really gave us an insight as to how his mind functions. And as you heard from him talking, he hates the idea of just saying, my bad, let's move on. I'm sorry, let's move on. He wants to sit there and type 12 paragraphs as to why he was wrong but not really, while others were more wrong than him. All of a sudden, things make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, listen to how Dr. K
Do you think he was ever
responded to
disciplined
that.
properly as a child?
Watch.
So I think what I liked about that response, my hope, so we're not here to like rehab your PR, right? We're just here to have a conversation. And at the same time, over the last 2 hours, there's something about the way that I hear you talk that rubs me the wrong way. There's something about
I'm sorry. If your own therapist is basically going, there's something wrong with you, you fucking asshole. You need to evaluate yourself.
the way that you talk that seems dismissive.
Okay, wait.
So I'll
How long is that?
seems dismissive.
11 seconds.
So I'll tell you
That took
where
11
that
seconds.
No, I agree with that.
right. So
No, I
it's
can
like
agree with
I made a mistake. We all made mistakes.
Okay.
Right. So there's something about your sentence construction. It's like, oh yeah, Thor, I'm sorry I cheated on you, bro. I really do love you. You know, we both have flaws in this marriage.
I think the funny thing here is that Dr. K is known to be very caring, very nice, and not confrontational at all when it comes to streams like this. But in this case, seeing that he's an experienced psychologist, he knew when to become confrontational. He knew when to call out Pirate Software on his bullshit. And this is what it was. Bullshit. In just a span of like 20 seconds, Dr. K had essentially summed up people's entire problem with Pirate Software.
Yep.
When he would be criticized, when he would be given feedback, when he would be given advice, he was always
I love it. Penguins 5. Also a dude called House.
dismissive and smug. And this smugness is what led us here. People were hoping that this productive 3.5-hour conversation would actually lead somewhere, maybe actually make him apologize for once and take a step back. But it didn't. His
I never
empire
heard of the
kept
dude.
crumbling until we had finally reached the final nail in the coffin. Stop killing games.
Yeah.
Stop killing
also,
games
have
is
you
an
guys
initiative.
heard that like the Stop Killing Games thing actually worked? Because it worked with a Splitgate. Splitgate is a game that I played. I haven't played the first one in a very long time. I played the second one, but I haven't played it enough to like. But it's an online only game. It's like there's no single player for that game at all. They have been able to put into an update where players can still play the first game even though they're stopping servers for it with their own dedicated servers. So the game is still functioning. And it's a free game, by the way. So the game is still going to be able to function. And they're going to still be able to play it. That is what Stop Killing Games is.
Launched by Ross Scott in the European Union and the United Kingdom.
Hello,
it was meant to be a
Hayden.
direct answer to what happened with the game The Crew, made by Ubisoft.
Oh god, yeah, I
At
remember
the end of
this
December 2023, Ubisoft all of a sudden announced that The Crew would no longer be purchasable and that its servers would be going down on March 31st, 2024. Seeing that this was a live
You know what's
service game,
funny?
this meant
Yeah, I don't know this one though. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I knew what you were saying anyway. But like, I still see this game in stores at CEX. Like, I see it
that
on
after March, you'd
PlayStation
never be able to
4.
play this game ever again. The salt in the wound, though.
Okay, so this is what I understand from Stop Killing Games. Stop Killing Games is basically games like The Crew. That's a live service game that's always online type thing. Becoming unplayable. So the people that spent money on this game have lost the money. Because they no longer have the servers. So they can never play this game again. Never. The game is never going to be able to play. What Stop Killing Games is trying to do is to make it so that game developers have to have an end of life for what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? For games that are online. So meaning that like The Crew, it didn't have an end of life, so it's just stopped working. Everyone who spent money has lost money on it. What they can do though is have a live have it so that people can have their own servers for it, and that the game is still playable, but it's being played off a personal servers instead of Sony servers. Yeah, it's PlayStation. Instead of Sony servers. So that way, the game is still playable, people still can play the game, but the servers aren't being run by Sony. But they don't have that, meaning that the game is no longer playable. So like, no one can play this game again.
Was
And,
that barely a couple weeks after the servers went offline, Ubisoft revoked the crew from
Honestly,
people who had
Anthem was
bought
a good
it
game as well,
digitally,
yeah.
attaching a message saying, "You no longer have access to this game. Why not check the store to pursue your adventures?" To many, this was an outrage. It essentially meant that you never owned your games to begin with.
Yeah.
Ubisoft can just take them away. This also more recently happened with Concord. It barely came out for a week and then the servers were offline. If you bought the disc copy, you were played like an idiot.
Yep.
The Stop Killing Games initiative argued that it wasn't really legal. It was very weird for live service games to
Yeah,
just
it's an
shut down like
anti-consumer
that
thing.
without giving players an alternative. With Ross Scott on his YouTube channel saying that games as a service is fraud. One thing to note is that this initiative wasn't forcing publishers or developers to keep game servers online forever. What it simply wanted was to have a way to access these games after the servers went offline, by allowing players to host their own servers, for example.
Yeah, it's kind of like, think of it this way. Imagine if Dying Light, that's a game that can be online. Imagine if it was an online only game, but it was actually like, what's it called? But it was actually like a single player game you could play. But it was online, always at the time. So it's always connected to a server. They shut down that server and you can no longer play that game. Imagine if something like that happened. That's what they're talking about. They want the service to be able to
that if
be done
taking
by
games down
people.
like this would become the
Or
norm, then
to
way
have
too
its
many
own
games would
single-player
become
game.
lost
Right.
media. Because that's what the Crew and Concord
If
are
it's
right now. They're
am-
essentially
amicable.
lost media. It was classified as a European Citizens Initiative, in which European citizens could sign it, and if it would reach 1 million signatures, then it would be talked about in the European Parliament. It would initially get
Yeah,
a couple
like that.
100,000 signatures until a certain
I signed
person
this
would
petition.
speak out against it in the most aggressive way possible. Of course, we're talking about our good old friend, Pirate Software. He felt so passionate about this topic that he made 2 videos about it, very shortly after it launched in the summer of 2024. Now look, we're not going to watch the whole video, I just want to show you the first 10 seconds. Let's do this.
Hi, my name is Jason Thor Hall, also known as Pirate Software Online. I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment, then Amazon Game Studios, and now I own my own
Take a
studio,
shot.
Pirate Software, by the same name. It's an indie studio, and I've been
There's just something about this guy, man. I don't know. I can't explain it. Anyway, he worked at Blizzard Entertainment for around 7 years, guys, and he vehemently opposed every single thing this initiative stood for, arguing that it would kill live service.
Honestly, that game's gonna be a meme for the rest of his life. But like, no, but that's not actually a good example though.
Games
like,
and
people who
kill
bought the
gaming
disc
in
version of that
general,
game was
completely misunderstanding what this initiative was
week.
even about, and using his massive influence, which was still present at the time, to kill it instantly. I want to be clear here. In this video, he tries his best to appear level-headed, professional even, echoing the genius that you first saw in his YouTube shorts at the end of 2023. But on his stream, oh my god, this guy was a mess. These are the very nice things he had to say about this initiative. Watch.
shit. Now, this is actually really dumb.
Honestly, same.
It's
I need
used
to
car
finish playing
salesman
what
garbage.
I need to play.
This is shit.
Done it too.
It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful.
Why?
That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude.
Why?
No.
Tell me why.
Eat my entire ass. That the level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This
No, yeah, according to him, this is the worst thing that's ever been made by humanity. Like, this is the, like, oh my god, you'd think that this is actually going to end gaming as we know it. But it's not. It's seeking to do the opposite.
shit sucks. That's a really stupid
It's
ass
Labor Day.
move.
I'm
That's
the
incredibly
UK, so I have no
stupid ass
idea.
move.
But
I think this is
happy Labor Day,
ass.
my dude.
This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely.
In his very professionally level-headed video, he says this.
See, I don't know. I swear a lot in my thing, don't I? I know I swear a lot. But
incredibly important to me that we keep
like talking
making
about
games
this type
and
of
that the
shit,
next
like, I
generation
wouldn't tell
has the
anyone to eat
tools
my
to do
ass.
so their medium doesn't die out.
But that's exactly what Stop Killing Games wants to do. The whole point of this initiative is for this medium to not die by allowing so many
Honestly,
games
I
to
think I
become
can't
lost
swear.
media. And yet, this is what Pirate Software was saying about this whole thing.
I
Although
think
what
live
is
service
it?
games getting sunsetted is fine. I've always thought that. And that's okay. There's
Like I'm doing a subathon. One of the subathon goals are after if you guys get me up to 30 subs, no swearing for 30 minutes. It's going to be difficult.
nothing wrong with that.
I mean, at this point, just no comment. When he would start receiving quite a bit of backlash, of course, now there's more dislikes, but when it first released, I'd say 30% of
Nah,
the like to
swearing
dislike
in my
ratio
thing is
was
like-
dislikes. He made this pinned comment,
You don't say it
outlining
to,
some
like, be
points that don't
aggressive.
really help his very aggressive reaction that came out of nowhere, and then ended it with a quotation saying he won't even
Yeah,
talk
it's-
to Ross,
I'm
who
gonna
is the founder of
fail.
Stop Killing
I know I'm
Games,
gonna
to which
fail.
he replied with, correct. I think his position is disingenuous due to his comments about how this could be pushed through government. It's a bad direction, removes validity for what the initiative is trying to do, portrays the process in an incorrect manner, and just builds sensationalism. Thinking that kind of language is okay puts him squarely on my not worth it to talk to list, as there are others that could have a more productive conversation. So what he's talking about is this slide here. This one slide in the entirety of this initiative is the only reason why he refuses to talk to Ross. It
Why?
says, reasons the European Citizens Initiative could pass. Politicians like easy wins. Politicians mostly don't care about video games. The law is already unclear on this practice. The initiative is in line with other consumer policies. It's a diversion from more serious topics. Now, according to Ross, this was a half-truth, half-joke slide. And I think that's how a normal person would view it. I don't think it was tone deaf in any way, but it angered the hell out of Pirate Software for some reason.
Why?
I don't know why. Some people theorize that it's because he got close to Ludwig, and together they founded the games publisher Off-Brand Games. When the Stop Killing Games initiative came out, they were in the process of releasing a live service multiplayer game. So there was definitely some sort of a conflict of interest here. Regardless, this European Citizens Initiative had a one-year deadline. It would be automatically closed on the 31st of July, 2025. And by the end of June, it barely had 500,000 signatures, which meant it had no hope of ever reaching 1 million, or so it seemed. This was until Accursed Farms, the channel owned by Ross Scott, would release a video.
My god, dude. I know we're like on this dude's side, but look at his hairline. Wow, my god. What does he remind me of? His head reminds me of something. Okay.
Titled The End of Stop Killing Games. It's an hour-long video that kind of reminds us what this initiative is about, how we got here, the feedback and criticism he's received, the changes he's made, and of course the majority of the video is him responding to Pirate Software's very aggressive criticisms. Most of the clips of Pirate Software crashing out over the Stop Killing Games initiative were actually from this video. Ross addresses every single one and ended up, whether intentional or not,
Who can
making
spell?
Pirate Software look like a clown who had no idea what he was talking about. This video almost has 1 million views, and many people watched it. Some of those
Well, the
people
thing is, people don't
happen to
like
be way bigger content creators than Pirate Software, and seeing that this very important initiative was very close to failure, tried their best to bring as many people as possible to sign it. For
Oh, there's
example,
someone else. There's someone else I'm thinking of.
Moist Critical talked about it, and his video's at over 3.5 million views. Hell, even Jacksepticeye talked about it on his second
Why do
channel,
they all have
and the
long
video's
hair right
sitting at
now?
over 1 million views. People understood
I haven't
that
watched
this initiative
Jacksepticeye
wasn't
in
just a
ages,
good
though.
thing for video games, it was integral to ensure its survival for the future. Hell, even Minecraft creator Notch had something to say about it, tweeting, "Hey guys, just got back to gaming after a brief break. Wait, why is there a Nepo baby doubling down over there?" Adding, if buying a game is not a purchase, then pirating them is not theft. This truly solidified the position
Okay,
of
Phil,
Pirate
we'll see you
Software
later.
in the Hall of Fame of lolcows. It was undeniable at this point. His stupidity had made an entire movement succeed, just purely on the basis of him being so unaware of what was going on. He
No one
lacked
likes
the
you, dude.
most basic form of self-awareness. And thanks to that, the Stop Killing Games initiative not only reached 1 million signatures, but is currently at over 1.3 million in overdrive. About to reach 1.4 million any time now, with the
I just
UK
hope it, like,
petition
gets done.
reaching double the signatures required. You even had a vice president of the European Parliament voicing support for this initiative and signing the petition himself while urging other Europeans to do the same.
Nice.
This initiative gained so much traction that a publisher group full of the biggest publishers on the planet, including EA and Ubisoft, for example, responded saying that these proposals would curtail developer choice and that it was
Sure, whatever.
unsustainable and unfeasible. In other words, they were very scared that this could actually pass. Being a gamer myself, I wish this initiative the best of luck in Parliament,
no,
and I truly
100%.
hope it
I want
passes.
this to go
When I buy a
past.
digital game, I'd like to know that I actually own it and that it won't be taken away from me at any given moment. But while this initiative was gaining a lot of positive attention, Pirate Software, on the other hand, was gaining all the negative attention. He's currently bleeding over 10,000 subscribers daily on his YouTube channel and has currently lost a massive chunk of his viewership on Twitch. I mean, look at these numbers. He used to peak 15,000 concurrent viewers and is now down to 5,000. That's 1/3 of where he used to be 7 months ago. And that's without mentioning all the followers he's been losing. I mean, look at this, minus 50,000 just in July. Additionally, this
Oh,
renewed
that's gotta
scrutiny has
sting.
prompted many YouTubers like Coding Jesus and Slop News Network to analyze the code that he writes on stream, concluding that a child, a literal toddler, can probably do a better job. Seriously, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Because, of course, instead of just apologizing, taking a step back, taking the L for once, admitting you made a mistake, maybe taking some advice that Dr. K gave you, he would triple down or quadruple down. I guess I can't even keep track at this
What
point.
is he saying? The most interesting narrative is that my game somehow killed the initiative. It did not. You did great. You did a brilliant job at making this the most well-known shit in the world. Well done, my dude. Everyone hates you. The Grushers.
And make this post, saying the most interesting narrative is that my video somehow killed the initiative. This graph shows that the initiative already had a downward trend in interest when my videos dropped. My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all. Making me the villain did though. Best of luck with your next steps. So at this point, I can't help but be impressed how much he's willing to die on hills that don't matter. People aren't even tracking cumulative signatures and daily signatures. They just understood that this initiative is worth fighting for, it's very important for the longevity of games as a medium, and that you, with your massive platform, not only criticized it very aggressively, thinking that this was going to be an easy win that made you out to be a genius, but urged all your audience, all your strong community to not sign it when they were telling you to sign it initially. That's how you even found out about the initiative. He would then later tweet this, saying, I am no longer working at Off-Brand Games. People were attacking all of the games we were publishing and trying to mass review bomb them. You can dislike the things I say, but this kind of behavior is unhinged. Learned a lot there, accomplished a lot, hope they succeed regardless. Loved those dudes and loved working with them. Hope they keep cooking. Ludwig
Okay, yeah, I remember this part. Because I remember it got disproven.
would reply to this, saying Stop Killing Games is a good initiative, but a few bad actors review bombed / harassed developers of the games we support at Off-Brand Games. Appreciate Thor stepping down for the betterment of the devs and their games, to which he would get community noted. The note said, Rivals of Either 2 has not been review bombed. Verifying this is as easy as opening the Steam page and looking at the graph of reviews. And if we go to the game, scroll down, and look at the graph that shows review trends, we can very clearly see that there's no review bombing going on. If anything, there's positive bombing. Look at all these positive reviews in June. But hey, anything to be the victim, right? In fact, the guy became such a victim that I think he started losing his mind. He started comparing his current situation with the Stop Killing Games initiative to Coney 2012. I mean, dude, no, I'm sorry. This is a full-fledged, fully
What's
developed
Coney
and evolved
2012?
lolcow. There's no way you can say this while being self-aware. It's impossible. And after months of complaining about people brigading and harassing him, he does the same exact thing to Coding Jesus. He would leave a comment on his code review video and would then link his comment to his chat so that they can go upvote it in an effort to ratio the video itself. Like, how petty is that? Come on, man.
Do you make a link to it? You have to click on the little 6 hours edited.
Well, you have a job.
Aha! So that doesn't seem to do it? Oh, do I have to right-click on this and then copy link address? And then do that? Is that what does this? Ah, it does highlighted comment. There we go. Boop. There's my comment on it. Enjoy.
You're
And I
nice.
also have a whole
You have a
argument
very
with a whole bunch
important
of
job.
people in the replies in there so they can see what's going on with it. I
Even
talked
though you have
them
no
through
idea
the
what a
entire
hole
thing
is
of why I
in the
did
body.
that all in an array, because that is not normal practice to do that, and it's specifically so that you guys can reverse engineer the game and solve the ARG. Sometimes doing bad practice has meaning, which is
Whatever, man. He later deleted this VOD because this literally
Because then
breaks
I'll have to
YouTube
let you
TOS.
out, and
This
that's work.
breaks every aspect of terms of service when it comes to brigading
At least
and
with Lilith,
harassment.
I could just give
I mean,
her
at
a
this
PC
point,
and
can
be
this get
fine.
any worse? Yes. He'd be asked about his opinion when it comes to Stop Killing Games finally reaching 1 million signatures, and he said, "I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that your initiative gets everything that you asked for, but nothing you wanted, and I'll leave it there." See, if I was 12 years old, I would have probably thought this was really cool, but now it's just edgy beyond cringe. But listen, as much as this was a ridiculous roller coaster ride on the Lolcow Express, someone did end up asking him, "Hey man, would you consider making an apology video, setting everything straight? Because you know what? This is still salvageable. You can still redeem yourself." And here's what he had to say.
put up a video saying you were wrong with every situation and the internet move on. I am not doing that. I don't give a fuck.
Lovely. Go broke.
Yeah, simply bend the knee and lie about how you feel, and everyone will stop bullying you. That's a great idea, dude. Yeah, no, eat shit.
This guy is so hopeless, man. Now, I will say this because I'm sure this will appear in the comments. Yes, I'm aware that Pirate Software is a massive furry, and I'm also aware that he was legally married to someone, and during that marriage, he got in contact with one of the Kickstarter backers of Earthbound, the game he's working on, and started a very inappropriate 18+ relationship with them while being
Damn.
married. Yes, he committed adultery. The reason why I didn't mention this in the video is because it doesn't really matter in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things. If he had just apologized during the WoW Classic incident, this coming out wouldn't have done anything to him, because guess what? Most of these messages involved 18+ roleplay, but more specifically, furry roleplay. Yes, they would literally say to themselves, pets you, nuzzles you, plays with your tail, and then get, more 18+ into it. Yes, most people couldn't even read one page of chat logs because of how cringy
I
it is.
don't think
So
so.
I'm so convinced it wouldn't have done anything to his reputation. It's meaningless to talk about. But if you're interested,
they're all
you can check out
consensual
this video by
adults,
Fearful Tears titled Pirate Software, the most delusional Twitch streamer. Look, Pirate Software is a lesson, not just in content creation, but in quite literally anything. Normal people make mistakes, and geniuses
No. He's a second generation furry.
make mistakes too. We're all human. Admitting that you make a mistake isn't you admitting that you have a weakness.
I think he's just
No,
bringing
on
it
the
up.
contrary.
Because he knows people are going to bring it up in the comments, type thing. So it's like, yes, he cheated on his wife. We know that. It doesn't matter too much in this situation.
Never admitting that you're wrong is a weakness in itself because it shows how insecure you are, how fragile of an ego you have, and it'll only make people want to avoid you. I mean, what's the point? Pirate Software is the stupid person's definition of a genius, and he managed to ride that wave for a little while. But now the party's over, and he only has himself to blame. He'll still be a content creator, he'll still have a sizable audience, but he'll never be able to touch the sky like he did at the end of 2023.
dude was doing
and they're never coming
such
back
good
unless
work.
he finally humbles
doing
his dumbass.
so good, and
Anyway,
they
thank you so much for
fucked it.
watching the entire video up until the end. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video fairly soon. Yeah, I love you so much. Mwah.
Bye. But no, honestly, like, the dude was doing well. He did so well. He could have been mega big. But instead, it's not. Damn, this sucks. Okay, who to raid? Yeah. But the thing is, if he had...
Did that meet your expectations?
Holzen, thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, no, if he had just said sorry once, I think he would have been fine. Like, I think he would have been top notch if he had said sorry just once. Well, he didn't, and he just dug his own grave. And now, yeah, again, he's gonna be fine because he still has a bigger audience, and they're still gonna donate to him, and they're still gonna be having like. But he could have had such a good round. But anyway, I am gonna call that a day. I do hope everyone enjoyed. We're gonna. Thank you. We're gonna raid Nordic. I hope everyone had a great time watching, and we'll see you all later. Bye.